and welcome to this episode of Deconstructing Distortion. My name is Allie with Amory Speaks, and this is episode number 4. I am going to be talking about the term healthy. So thank you for joining me, and if you are new here, know that I have 3 other episodes already going in this second tier of my series, based around terms and phrases that are commonly used, sort of in the New Age conscious communities, in the wellness world, in the self-help world, in the metaphysical realm. I say this is a second tier because I'm really making this series for those eternal students who have already sort of been on their journey, have already worked their way through sort of the awakening phase. I made a whole bunch of videos, maybe 40 or 50 videos in Comprehending Consciousness, which is sort of the first level, beginners, bunch of terms and phrases there for people who are newly waking up. And those are the more terms that are, highly distorted and sort of amped up in the conscious realm. And I sort of wanted to break those down and get people to do more seeking around them for their own selves to find truth around them, instead of getting lost in these over-amplified New Age kind of versions of them. But here in this level, I'm hoping to do a little bit more speaking to my own workings and my own level of distortions that I have come through and that I'm starting to see. These words that even in this realm of people who are woken up and been awake for a while or whatever, been exposed to content like metaphysical content, esoteric teachings for quite some time. There's still other layers. It's a cycle. Everything is cyclic. There's not linear at all. And so there's still plenty of learning and teaching happening. And this adept level, I'm hoping to talk about terms and phrases that are more distorted and that I'd like to bring truth into, that I have found my own truths through, and sort of really bring it into breaking apart the words and then finding the real juice inside there, the real worth, So welcome. If you're not new, thanks so much for your continued audienceship. I appreciate everyone who watches my channel so much. If you're looking for more content from me and you've just found me here on my backup new main channel, Amory Speaks 2, know that I have like 300 something or 200 something videos, close to 300 I think, over on Amory Speaks Original, which has a bunch of other series, and then I also have a ton of content on BitChute, 300 something videos over there as well. If you're looking for things that I reference that maybe aren't readily available right on my page if you're on my newest channel. So thanks for that. I'll try to leave links and descriptions for easy convenience for people. But for the time being, let's jump right into my term for today, which is healthy, and talk about the unfolding that this term has really been. Just to kick it off, and also hoping to keep it short. What a task for me, right? I'm not going to give my whole personal story, and I've talked about this over the years so many times, but I was more in a chronically ill, sort of wrapped up in the scientific-y medical world and in the pharmaceutical realm and through my early 20s, thinking that doctors and that kind of thing was going to have the cures for me, and for the reasons as to why I had such an uncomfortable life, right? I had pain and bad thoughts and tons of trauma and all these things. So I was totally wrapped up in that through my early 20s, and then I ended up having a super health crisis, and finally realizing that all the medications and things that were trying to heal me were causing more problems and side effects and things, and actually it was piling up and making me much worse. And I chose to go alternative medicine, and that was maybe 2013-ish, I started to really change the directionality of where I was seeking help from, and what I was concerning health and wellness, and what I was considering to be healthy. Sorry, I get excited about my own changes, thinking about how far I've come, and totally the focus, the carrot on the stick of what I thought was healthy, health and wellness, to what I understand it to be these days now, coming up to 40 years old and being healthier than ever, feeling better than I felt at 20. It's amazing. The proof's in the pudding. and what I want to share here in this sort of deconstructing the distortions of my own self, and what I've been able to peel back all the layers into seeing with more clarity, is that healthy, the word, the understanding, the concept that we're sort of fed and offered, it's not that it's rose-tinted glasses, and it's not that it's not possible. It's very possible. It's simple and easy to obtain, but it's it's difficult to continue to do. And in the world that we are in, with the negative matrix overlay, I'm just going to call it, that all of the propaganda and the stage frame that everything is of this world today, we are heavily impressed with toxins and poisons, and on purpose to really pressure on our healing systems so that they cannot function exactly as they should. And in fact, most of us are running an inverted system. I'm not going to get even into that right now, but many of us are running an inverted system, which makes, no matter how much positive healing we're attempting to bring into our lives, we're having rebound effects, and it's causing bad ripple effects inside that can never correct themselves, because we've been fooled by inverted carrots on sticks, and we're chasing incorrect momentum and charges in systems that aren't going to work in a line, actually, with an overall positive balance at the end of the day. We're not seeking correct, true abundance and surplus in our lives, and aligning with the truth of what that really means. And we're not seeking it for ourselves. We're seeking distorted, diverted versions that unfortunately are tainted with negativity, negative debt-based systems that need more and more in them. And we're trying to do these at the same time, and not in a flow that's ever going to create a nice lemon scatic that can go. Unless, we're doing good work for ourselves. And this is the thing. If we're here at the student level, hopefully we're doing good work for ourselves. Hopefully we understand about system alignments, and we're running good balancing, doing energy alchemy, like shadow work, seeking truth and honesty for yourself. And this is when we start to understand, okay, healthy isn't one thing. It's not just this carrot on the stick out there. It's not a vision board idea of myself that I need to go and have. In fact, actually, myself is the vision board every moment, every day, and I need to be making it for myself, the most healthiest and best of myself that I can. And in order to first do that, we have to quiet the mind, sit in stillness, to find out what is wellness and health for you. What does that even mean? What does it look like for you? Where are you, in reality, really at in proximity to that, right? And what's in between there? And really looking at it, not looking at it from a victim's point of standpoint, not looking at it from this place of fear and worry, but being able to step out of it in a place of the observer, which is what we learn through meditation, which is why I'm introducing this at this level now here, right? To be able to look at that outside of that and understand what is health and wellness for you. And then to make real, active goals and ideas of how to get there and how to look at that. And for me, when I started to do this, I started to understand the key here to the word and idea of healthy. It's a three-part thing, and I love to talk about three-part systems, so it's no wonder that this has come in a three-part working to me. But it's a beautiful tiered stepping for us to understand. And of course, again, remember, this is not an A to B thing either. This is a feeding into a cyclic understanding that each three steps are reflections of the three within each other always, and so you have an infinite time to flow through each step, and in fact they come into each other, right? And so first things first, we have to have the idea of healthy and what that can even mean, and understanding that it's a balancing act, a give and take, and a constant renewal, and a seeking of what feels good and true, light and honest, and best for each one of us. Now, when we're faced with things like I was, and I still am, I'm not saying this is the same thing. This is not an end-all, cure-all. I still have days that I wake up rickety. I still, once in a while, have a headache, have days that I don't feel great. But you know what? I went from having 3 to 5 symptom-free days in a month, say. 3 to 5 good days where I felt good in a month. That would be an average thing for me. Every day feeling like trash, basically. To now having 3 to 5 bad days in a year, literally. It's remarkable. It's amazing. Like I said, the proof is in the pudding, for me, for myself. But to understand that still there's 3 to 5 days of, bad times. And there's also other days that are rickety. There's other work throughs. So let's talk about what the 3 stages are here, okay? And we'll get right down to it. Healthy, of course, is the whole, is the epitome, is the thing that we're seeking towards, is healthy. But of course, if we're in a state of where we're not exactly feeling that, right, the first kind of stage, the first step that we can look towards or hearken at is heal. The word heal it's right inside these. These 3 words are here, right? We have heal, health, and healthy. So it's a 3-stepping to the word healthy, right? It's all in the same thing here. It's the same word. So heal. You need to heal what is the first most prominent issue. Whatever is that thing that is the notification, the trigger alarm, the pain that is right now. You have to work for that. You have to offer service to whatever needs healing at the moment. And step into heal, that word heal, and make it live. Healing, make it alive for you. How do I bring healing to myself? What needs healing? What is that? What is going to look, what is heal going to look like for me? And again, these could be different, but based on different symptoms, different times that you're facing different things. But step 1 is to notice the thing that needs healed and to work at that. And once you get to a stage, there will be, believe it or not, no matter what you feel like you could never get out of that stage, you could never be out of this presentation of pain, you will be. And even if it takes, like it took for me, these learning the absolute hardest ways, which one quick example I can think of is these ice pick headaches that I'd get. Absolute, think I'm going to die. Seriously, such pain. I couldn't not think about anything else. It would be through this nerve into my eye, absolute explosion. Can't do anything else but lay and think about the brightest light in the world is what it would be like being underneath it, inescapable. And yet, I found healing, moments of pure escape, out of body experiences, moments of God, moments of my higher self, moments I felt near death, limbo space, the void, whatever it is, rock absolute bottom. Take me out of this. Can I die now? For real, and yet, at those times, there was a moment of healing. There was a receivership of a takeaway, call it shock, call it numbness, call it whatever you want to call it, where your system's just on overload everywhere. I found states of healing in those moments. And through going into those repetitively, I found keys to my own health in there. Coming back to those crisis moments and sitting through those honestly and asking for answers brought me to the second stage of what I'm calling health. And health is like, okay, I'm recommitting. I've sort of gone through the initial stage of whatever was the absolute chronic crisis. The chronic crisis gets healed with, gets overtaken, gets come through, and you realize, okay, there is a state, there is health available to me, but I need to never do that thing that caused the crisis again, right? This is where we learn from, we get the actual healed message, which is to not do the thing that triggered it, which is the key that comes to the moments, because they will, no matter what sickness, what symptoms, whatever's brought on, and I'm speaking for myself, but I've been through many, because lots of different things have made me ill, from bad choices like smoking, cigarettes, to bad food choices like overdoing it with sugars and sweets, or having them at all, because I can't even have them at all, really, but to even overdoing it with bad thoughts, and letting overwhelming thoughts build up and build up. There comes these sort of moments to where you have, say, totally vomiting, totally sick, and then it comes to me. It was that frosting. It was that whatever food it was. You know what I mean? It was that. Like, and anyone who's ever been through it, whatever you've gone through that sickness part, there's a key given to you that says, oh, it was that. Like, say even when I used to drink alcohol, it would be, oh, it was that. You know what I mean? It was the drinks. You know what it is that's making you ill. So point in the healed step is that we don't do those things again. And then when we don't do those things again, we don't get presented with the health crisis state again. We come to work in a regular state of health. We start to see what health can be like for us, because when we don't do the trigger things again, our healing begins. In the healing, those states begin to find out, oh yeah, actually I don't have to feel like crap all the time because the trigger things are not happening. And you can get into a state where you have a couple of days or a couple of hours or a couple of whatever that you feel better again. And that in itself triggers more power in yourself, because you're recognizing and remembering, oh yeah, I do have the power to step out of this. Oh yeah, it isn't forever. Oh yeah, it isn't my state I'm not damned to eternal badness and feeling like crap. I can feel better. I can make better choices. I can always feel this way. Actually, it is possible. You start to believe it is possible for yourself. And you start to live in this state of health, and to figure out, oh yeah, actually, if my hip is bothering me, it's not, oh, my sciatica, or no, I just can fix my position and find, oh yeah, actually, it was just that I'm a little stiff and I needed to switch my position. Now I feel better. You don't have to make a huge thing about it and go into all of these triggered moments and say, oh, it's all these things, And I'm speaking of my own personal self, as years ago I remember doing stuff like that. And I hear from others all around me all the time, those jump tos, those real entanglements that drag us into sickness, and that they don't bring in healing and health. They tie you back down to unwellness, to stress, disease, and to your forever problems, your diagnoses, whatever. And in fact, those are lies. Those are inversions. They're not even real. But we can't accept that and get into that until we start to live in the state of health, or at least start to have a bit of health and a taste of it. And then that encourages you to actually drop other things. And when you have these other weird little trigger moments that come in, you start to kind of comb away at those little bad things, those little things that are triggers, those things that don't align completely with you. And you pick up more things that do. And you start to do things that feel better more regularly. Incorporate more exercise, incorporate more movement, incorporate more fluidity, more art, more music, more trips to places that you like to go to, more conversations about things that you enjoy. All of these are bits of health and wellness. Those things that light you up inside, that ignite your positive systems, those little ripple effects that spark you, go with those. Go towards those. Do more of those. Those are the things that keep the healthy life, that keep the health. And as we live in health, right, and you comb away more and more of these things, you come to see what it is to be healthy. And it took years for me. It might not take years for others, and people might have done it quicker or longer, who knows? But I'm approaching healthy now and having a homeostasis of well-being and health and my highest good each day, and knowing that I step into my highest good every day. And that, yeah, even when I do have these sort of catalytic disruptions and choices come up that are hard, that I'm presented with things that don't always align with my highest good. And I have to be, I'm tested. And you go through these healed, health, and healthy states because, like I said at the start of the video, hello, look around you. Even if you are living on a homestead in a total rural place off the grid, there's still chop wood, carry water, things that happen every day. You have equipment that breaks down. You have weather that doesn't always go along with you. You have animals that have their own, what they want to do, and some of them escape, and sometimes a fox gets into the chicken's coop or whatever the case is. Even if you're living that sort of dream life of yours, or even if your dream life isn't a homestead, chop wood, carry water, kind of back to the roots. Maybe your dream life is more luxurious. Maybe you have one of those more movie star type of ideas of what it is, and it's more of something where you can just sort of live a life of relaxation and contentment. There's nothing wrong with that vision of happiness either, where everything's sort of provided for you and you just have an abundance. It doesn't matter what your versions of health and wellness are. It's just that they align and they light you up and they bring into you an empowerment that calls action, that calls you to love life, to be grateful for your life, to want to be alive, and to want to interact with others in some kind of way that makes others feel great and alive too. To want them to seek their healthiest, best life, to want them to have as great of a life as you do, in whatever way fits theirs, that they don't have to cookie cutter their version of vision board wellness to you. They don't have to have X, Y, and Z lab test scores to be healthy or to have these illnesses either. We have to break away from all these sort of rigorous expectations that they get pinpointed up externally, and we think we have to go meet those markers. Or if we do meet those markers, then we are in this sort of realm of negativity. That feeds a loop that we get wrapped up in. And your creator consciousness of your reality. If you're going to tell your system, your cells, your organs, that they're ill and dying, then guess what they're going to be? Conversely, we can tell them that they're well and alive and invigorated, loved, and appreciated. And guess what they're going to be? And anyone can argue that, oh, that's rose-tinted glasses, oh, that's positive thinking over anything. But the truth is, it only is if you choose to make it. Your intention's your intention. Because others can't see that you're actually truly aligning with positive goodness. And they think you're putting rose-tinted glasses on. Doesn't mean that you are. If you're aligning with your truth and what feels good to you, then you are. And so, yeah, being able to kind of disconnect from others' observations of whether we're healthy or not either is a big part of that. And that comes in the same kind of three-part stage, because even once you start to live your healthiest life, there comes in others who remember you as always sick, or there becomes others who are still sick and don't want to align with that, and it can create a lot of other kind of distortions and disturbances. And it's always important that we take that internally and again flip the lens and try to remember, okay, where can I find my own inner alchemy in these external scenarios? Where can I detach infringing, trying to force others to be healthy and find their best self, and to realize that, oh yeah, that's just me inside there, worried that I'm not doing enough for myself, for my highest good. And perhaps lately, maybe I have been skirting around X, Y, and Z, or maybe I turned a blind eye to this thing in my life recently, and I'm reaching out at others, trying to, overcompensate for that. Instead, just, okay, I see that. I'm going to do better next time. Or, okay, how can we make that tiny step towards heal? What is that little thing that can make that feel better in the moment? Remember, the first step of heal. And just get to that first step. And then see where the keys unlock into, okay, I won't do that again. Or, okay, you need this. Let's give you that for a while. And then we'll get to health later. And when we get there, we'll see what happens as health feels like. But not putting these sort of expectations onto each stage later either becomes how we remember these things work, how we remember it's an ever-flowing, ever-changing thing. To leave room for openness, to leave next time to be different, to leave, well, yeah, my headache felt better with this last time, but this time it might not, because maybe it's been an accumulation of these couple of things that brought this type of thing on, instead of this, this, and that, which was last time. And if I bring in these things, it might not actually bring in health like it did for last time. So I can't go into it with these preconceptions of what the solution will be. You need to go into each problem listening and hearing each portion to see what is the true harmonious solution for this new present moment, for this new present crisis or illness or problem. And when we work through these healing things, it's wonderful to have the direct catalytic problems of health problems, because they help you work through more metaphysical troubleshooting problems when we have problems that are, more philosophical or more emotional, right? But yeah, I've gone a little over time. I'm going to leave it there because I definitely want to be shorter than half an hour with these videos. So thank you so much for joining me and listening here on Deconstructing Distortion episode 4 on healthy. I hope I have sort of brought in different ideas of how we can work through this highly distorted term to bring in truth and to resonate with our own truth within it. So thank you again for your time and your audience, and hope I'll see you next episode.